We are live. It is a very different version of Flock University. I am joined by the head coach, the general manager, the professor himself, Damon Ware. Everybody goes crazy for you. And then I'm Jeff Levac. Boo. Uh, how you
A little
doing,
different
coach?
online, huh?
It's a little different, man. It is. And look, I'm sorry. I'm almost there. I'm almost back. They got me snorting stuff. They got me. I think tomorrow I'll be able to be in the office. I'll be on antibiotics and everything long enough that yeah, you guys don't have to worry about me spreading, New Orleans flu
Yeah,
through the
can't do
office.
that. We're getting close to starting, so don't want to start sick.
Yeah, and that's the last thing. I know if I get you sick, it's that's I can be sick. I can work from home. Coach can't work from home. You need to be
Yeah,
in the office. So especially with the guys
see,
about to come to town.
exactly, exactly.
How is the office? I haven't seen it in a minute. I was down in New Orleans.
Yeah, you were doing the fun stuff and being around the Super Bowl group, and like I said, seeing some of your posts and looked like you were having some fun. But
New
here at the
Orleans is
office,
not
we're
opposed to fun. I will tell you that. New Orleans is maybe the most fun I've had in a place where the one day we just said, you know what, we're instead of taking a 20-minute Uber, let's just find bars that were within 5 minutes walking distance of each other all the way back to the hotel, and we made that work.
That's good. That's simple. But
Yeah,
no, in the office, like I said, we're knee deep in just about everything. Season ticket sales, obviously, finalizing some sponsorships, bringing on some new community partnerships, and obviously doing a bunch with the coaching staff as well. We've been meeting 3 times a week, obviously getting ready for what's to come next week.
yeah. I've seen a lot of activity, and obviously, always a phone call away. Never any farther than that. But and speaking of which, Nani says hi, guys. She can actually appear on this show, couldn't she? I mean, is she?
She could.
It doesn't start until Nani says hi. Yeah, season tickets. I saw that, and we do have some more ticket news that we will be sharing with you during this episode of Flock University, the quarantine edition. Um,
I like that.
yeah. Well, it's like just again, in all sincerity, I think I could have been around today. I just know that if I was the reason that you guys couldn't get things done the next couple of days, I wouldn't. I don't want to be that dude. Like, listen, y'all always seen the happy side of Coach Ware. You don't want to be. All I need is him coughing and cussing me out at the same time.
Yeah, I err on the side of caution. Too busy
uh,
right now.
yeah. Well, more busy because even though I feel like we've addressed it, like yeah, this is one of the weirdest things for me, and I'm sure like everybody who's a dad or a mom or you coach as somebody who runs an organization. That moment, I think teachers probably get it the most, where you say something over and over and over, and then when it happens, everybody goes, "What? No one told us this was going to happen." Last night, the news came out that our good friend, our brother from another mother, Darius Prince, is going to be playing in Corpus Christi. I was shocked it made as much news as it made. I was shocked he went to Corpus Christi. I would like to ask you about that in a second. Though I do love Hector and everybody in Corpus. Um, I'm we kind of were very straightforward with everybody all the way along. That the because the negotiations were taking so long, the odds and the chances and the likelihood that Darius would be able to be in Albany Firebird this year was becoming very, very, very slim. I was kind of shocked. Everybody was shocked.
Yeah, and I get it. It's something to talk about. There's a little lack of exciting news right now, so you gotta spice it up with some good old fashioned drama. And that's the thing is I think I've made it clear all through the off season that there's gonna be no drama to it, and people just gotta respect that. And I don't, I get it that there's a couple lines that come to mind, but it just doesn't make sense. Is that it has to be something negative or dramatic, and some things can be quite simple. And so every single year we don't do multi-year contracts at this level, so every year is a negotiation year, and I don't think people understand that. And it's I see a lot of these comments, and it just doesn't make sense. But every year we have to renegotiate, and so when you're together for a long period of time, there's some comfortability, and with comfortability can come some tough moments in negotiations because you are so close together. And so I've said it all along. I've told Darius, obviously, again, I love you off the field stuff, and that's the root of a lot of the stuff, and all the emotions that come with it are more from that side of it. And so it's not necessarily as much of the business side. And there's just some arrangements and things that go on the negotiation that again, that fail through in some of the things. And so there was nothing dramatic. Everybody wants it to be, it was this, it was that, and they're speculating, and it's not really anything to speculate. It's a business arrangement that didn't quite work itself out, and it took a long time. And so in the process of it taking a long time to negotiate, and I've always, and told Darius, again, I told him after 21, if you want to go out and seek a spot for yourself elsewhere, do it. I'll give you some time. And we did that in 22. No different. You know what I'm saying? But it materialized itself. Days, go ahead, do what you got to do, and in 30 days, let's jump back on the phone and let's continue to hammer out the deal. And we were able to do it. This year just took a lot longer. And so in the meantime of us negotiating on what we wanted to do, and again, when you're a really good player, you got options. And so again, instead of making this all dramatic, sometimes you're going to go out there and shop some options. And so again, on his live, again, he said he'd been talking to teams throughout the whole offseason. So there's options for guys that are really good. And like I said, it's tough. I get it wholeheartedly. It's when you're together so long, it is shocking when you're not together. And I see a bunch of the comments out there like, wow, I can't believe this situation didn't materialize. But it's not a negative thing. But there is a lot of emotions to it because we are so close together. And so from an organizational standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, we are very close. And sometimes that can hurt a negotiation is when you're
Yeah.
too close together. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so
Yeah.
things come up and it's like, well, wait a second, we love each other. So why isn't this easier? And sometimes it can make it harder. And so I've got nothing but absolute admiration for that young man. He's a great kid. And he decided to do some other things. And so it's not bad on him. It's not bad, people, trying to make this all personal and say, like I said, oh my God, I just see so many negative comments, and it just, I don't understand those things. This is what happens in sports. When you have a chance to go elsewhere, sometimes you decide to exercise that. Happens in the NFL, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball. You get a chance to hear another voice. The courting goes in, and again, I've told them all along, there's a big difference between courting somebody for 5 years and somebody courting you for the first time. And so I think it's funny, people get into all these, different conversations about it. But I've told him that. I said, when some of these people are coming at you with all these things, remember they're courting you for the first time. They
Right.
got to come strong. They got to say all the right things. And good, bad, or indifferent, that's what you do courting. It's hey, for every man or woman that's watching this show, when you originally courted the love of your life, you went hard. You know what I'm saying? You did everything. You said all the right things. You did all the right things. You acted. You held back your attitude. You did all those things to court somebody for the first time. But 5 years in, you're not.
Yeah.
Instead of opening
Bathroom
up
doors
every
open.
door
Things are
to
happening.
hey, honey, you got that? All right, yeah, I'll see you inside. And again, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just things change. And so being with somebody for that amount of time, it does change. And I told him I'm not going to court you the same way a new person's going to court you. We're too close for that. So I'm going to say my piece. You're going to say your piece, and it's a little different when you're really, really close. And so, that's all it was. And so, like I said, he had the opportunity to talk to some new people. They said some new things, and it just kind of went. It just kind of took too long. And so, in the meantime of going through the negotiations, which again, I had no problem with. I'm not mad. I
Yeah.
wasn't, there was nothing negative to it. It was continue to talk, continue to go through the stuff, continue to, talk, sometimes it's not football. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Well, you watching the game today? And it was that kind of stuff. But as it's taking long, I do gotta start, I gotta start filling out the roster.
Right.
And
Right.
so that was the bigger factor is, like I said, I'm a recruiter. I absolutely love the recruiting process. I don't care what level, what it is. I'm at the college level. I love recruiting. I'm at this level. I absolutely love recruiting. It's my favorite time. So in the meantime of waiting, I can't wait forever. I
Right.
have to move. The show must go on, as they say in Hollywood. The show must go on. So I continue to, while I'm out there recruiting, is okay. What would life be like if I don't have Darius Prince? I have to have, the pieces in place. And so our receiving core, I don't know if anybody's done the time to research, the 7 receivers that we have, but if you look at it, it's a pretty darn good
they're
group of
they're pretty
guys.
good. They're
You
pretty
you know what I'm
good.
saying? And so, again, no disrespect to Darius, but I gotta move. I can't, what
Yeah.
am I do? I'm gonna just wait for certain people forever and I'm just gonna let my roster go to hell. No, I can't do that. So found a lot of really good kids that had the right mindset and had the right experience and really wanted to come and be a part of this thing. And like I said, we're getting a lot of love, obviously, from the higher levels, and so there was a lot of things at play. Talking with some higher level teams, there was just a lot of things that were going on, and as time just kept ticking away, again, I just kept adding pieces, and eventually, you fill up your roster and you start Zoom calls and you start, going over the things that you want to do in the season, and eventually it becomes that, and so I wish him absolutely the best. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Again,
Well,
I
well, second best. We want the championship, and
well,
then
obviously, and I told him that in jest. I was like, "Look,
right.
you get to the arena, I'm gonna give you a hug, then I'm gonna disappear. During the game, we're gonna try to kick your butt, and then after the game, I'm gonna give you a hug. I'm still gonna be a fan of yours from a distance,
Hell
obviously,
yeah.
just not against
Yeah.
us. And so, and like I said, I'm sure there's plenty of NFL coaches that had a great player that ended up in their contract year moving to another team. You're not going to hate the person. You spend a ton of time together. There's a ton of admiration. There's a ton of care and love for each other. But things change. That's the part of this business, especially our business, because we operate on 1-year contracts. We don't sign these guys for
Yeah.
10-year deals, 7-year
Well,
deals,
and that's
5-year
their
deals, three
power.
years.
And that's their
So
power. That's like
they have all the power.
right, because if you don't treat me right, I'm gone. If somebody says something to me that, like you said, the courting is stronger, I'm gone. I can do those things. See, like Troy Valley, I think you kind of fell for the bad part of this that's out there. Of course, it's not bad on DP. It's a misstep by the organization. Winning cures everything, though. So you all better win without him. It's not a misstep. It's not. It's for lack of a better term, like for where you're sitting, mommy and daddy couldn't get along right now. So mommy's going to one house, daddy's going to another. You're getting 2 Christmases if you love Darius that much. You get to watch 2 games the way you watched one before. The bottom line is we want what's best for him. He does still want what's best for us. There's no bad guy in this. There's no misstep. Again,
And,
Damon Ware's Rolodex about football players will blow your mind. So when an opening is there, these guys are going to jump in and they're going to become part of it. And when you see this wide receiver core, again, no disrespect to Darius, there's gonna be some dudes out there that your eyebrows gonna go way up when they start running down the field.
but I'm just saying, like, I don't even understand the whole misstep part. In 1819 there was Malachi Jones, okay, and he was the guy. From
Yeah.
21 to 24, it's Darius Prince.
Yep.
In 25, it's going to be somebody else. And if you just researched our players, you would understand. And I just don't understand that. One player never, again, you can have some really good players and they can impact a game for sure, but
Yep.
there's never, it doesn't come down to one player. And if anybody out there is sitting at home thinking that that's the truth of sports, then I just don't think you know sports very well. And so what it takes is a team. This is the ultimate team game. So for us, it's 8 guys doing the exact job that they need to do at the right time for one play to work. In the outdoor game, it's 11. And so at the end of the day, players are going to come and go, and if you're not listening, they're on 1-year deals. They control the power. They control the narrative. They can shop themselves. They can ask for everything they want. They can do that every single year, and it's complicated and it's not easy for an organization. Take the Billings. Billings is the champions of our league. Guess what? They have less returning players than we do. So I don't understand. But I don't see their fans. oh my God, you guys made missteps and you guys aren't going to win. No, it's our sport is designed really for it to be changed on a yearly basis. And so I get the hard feelings. Here's the last thing I'll say on this. Some of you fans can sit there and you can choose one or two or three players and you could just be all in on these guys. And that can be your world. And that's okay as a fan. Here's my job. I have 35 guys I'm bringing into training camp. 35. And I will back those 35 up 100%, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. When camp is over, it's going to drop to 24. Those 24 guys, I will have their back 1,000%, 7 days a week until we win the championship and beyond if they stick around. So at the end of the day, for you guys to, you're trying to make, these comments that'll make us feel bad or whatever. I got 24 guys in the season that I got to take care of. I got 35 guys coming to the Capital Region next week. You don't think my focus is on those guys? I said it all off season. I don't want to talk about people that, that aren't signed on the team. And I meant that wholeheartedly. No disrespect to Darius. Love him to death. We are very
Absolutely.
close off the field. The problem is if you don't sign a contract with us, you're not an Albany Firebird. And so it like I said, we're just in that position, and it's okay. He tested the waters. He chose Corpus Christi. He spoke eloquently about that, about building a relationship with the head coach over the offseason and all those things. And again, for anybody to, it's not somebody fault. Who I don't even understand that.
Yeah.
Like what does fault have to do with negotiating contracts? There's no fault. It's hey, I like this deal, or I like this situation, or I like that, or I like this coach better than this coach, or whatever there is to it. There's issues and things that we've discussed throughout the offseason that, again, as I've said, that's not a conversation that I'm going to share with the public. Those are our personal, private conversations. And I hold that dear. I want, again, I don't want every word that I say to him to be public. I don't want every word, and he doesn't want every word that he said to be public. So at the end of the day, there's no fault. Like, why do people want this to be negative? It's not negative. He has chosen to go elsewhere. Like I
Yep.
said, he's been here for 4 years. It's complicated. I get it. When you have somebody for 4 years, it's a long time at this sport. But every year there's players that come along. You know what I mean? It's it's
Yeah.
it's just how it goes. Dwayne Brown, scored 5 touchdowns against us in the championship game. He's here now. Embrace him. As we talk about the roster, we'll talk about these guys individually, and we'll go from there. And like I said, if anybody is saying I will support one guy only and won't support 35 guys that are coming here to put their bodies on the line to be a part of the Albany Firebirds, I wouldn't even know what to say to a person like that, because every one of these guys leaves their family, leaves their situations to come here, put their bodies on the line in a very physical game to entertain the Capital Region. And if you don't respect that these guys are doing that, like I said, I got to protect all 35 of them. And so I'm going to do just my 35 guys. I love you. I can't wait for you guys to come into training camp, and we're going to do just what we always do. And that's it.
I love it. Well, all right, I saw somebody ask who was going to be the guy, because like we've had Joe Hills, we've had Malachi, we've had Darius and Darian. Who the 7 wide receivers on the team? Maybe we should get to know them, because I think an argument be made for any one of these guys to be an offensive juggernaut. Maybe all 7 of them.
Man, I'm super excited about all 7. And so
What's
let's,
the chances all 7 make the final roster?
no, and that's the sad part.
Only 24. That's all you get.
Again, in no order, because again, this is not about about just who, what, when, where. This is just we're going to talk about all 7 of them. So the guys that we have returning, it's very simple. Darian Townsend's returning. Darian had a phenomenal season. He did everything there was to do. He made outstanding plays. He, again, helped us secure some wins. And again, he's a phenomenal player. He is committed. His ceiling. I talked to him the other day and kind of told him some of the things that we're going to work on to get him even better than he is now, and
Whew.
he's all for it. And so Darian Townsend is a phenomenal player that can do a multitude of things that nobody can tackle on the open field by themselves. And so that's a special player. Kid out of Youngstown. He comes from Ohio. He's a phenomenal player, and he's done great things in his professional career. So he's going to be an intricate part of our offense.
And he's a
We
cool
brought back,
celebration.
you know, we brought back Isaiah Scott. We picked him up late in the season last year. This is a guy that looks like a linebacker. I laugh every day that I walk by him because
I
he's so
don't.
darn big, and he is as athletic as any receiver that we have on the board. He's gigantic, and he is a dominant player. Another guy try to tackle one of the smaller DBs, tackle him by themselves in a one-on-one situation. Not happening. He is a phenomenal young player that we are just super, super excited, to have him continue on with us. So there's him. Markel Wade's returning. Okay, Markel Wade's
Oh,
been with me, a long time. It's
there goes Lisa. Wade's my guy right
he's
away.
been with me now for over the course of quite a few of the last 7 years. Okay, Wade is a take the top of the defense off guy, speed guy. He's one of the best return guys in the business, and I mean all the way up through the NFL. This kid could return kicks in the NFL. He's a phenomenal player. He's got great speed. Again, he's a warrior, and he can play a bunch of different positions. So he's coming back. So those are the guys that are coming back. Those are guys that there's plenty of fans out there that know, that enjoy, that they cheer on. Okay, so those are those guys. Now let's talk about some of the new guys that are coming in. They just seen, I posted up, Duke Williams. Duke Williams was a stud player at the University of Auburn. He was the number one, receiver in the CFL. He played with Josh Allen on the Bills, and you can go up and we put some of his highlights up and see him catching touchdowns from Josh Allen. You don't go up and play with Josh Allen by being a terrible player. And so he's a big body receiver. He's a great route runner. Again, he's got phenomenal hands. And again, he's led, the CFL in yards and touchdowns, through a couple of years. Kind of hard to argue with, again, he's been in high motion. CFL's got 3 guys in high motion. He's done all those things. He's going to fit great into our game, and he's got a phenomenal attitude. He just wants to get better. He wants to continue to show that he's an outstanding receiver. Look him up. Okay, so there's Duke. We also got, Dan Williams. Dan Williams is another guy, started in the XFL, had plenty of NFL experience, played at Jackson State. He is another phenomenal, bigger body receiver that's going to have that DBs are going to have a problem with trying to tackle. So look these guys up. They're, like I said, we have 3 big body guys that are going to be incredible in camp. I mean, these are just incredible pieces. Now, you add Dwayne Brown. Dwayne Brown from IUP played in Billings last year, got better and better throughout the year. And this kid scored 5 touchdowns in the championship game. He is another phenomenal player. I talked to his coach and his owner from last year. They had nothing but wonderful things to say about the young man. He's a guy from up in the Northeast. He's a Pennsylvania guy. He probably had 25 people at the championship game. I want his 25 people to come and enjoy the Capital Region each and every home game. I want excitement around our games. I want more people with eyes on our game. I want people excited to come and be a part of our players. And so by design, we, probably 70% of our roster is from the Northeast. All of these people are going to be bringing their families to the games, and they're going to be a part of our family, part of the flock. It's by design. So, you add him in there, another dominant football player. Every one of those kids I just named, those 6 are number 1 receivers. They're not number 2. They're not number 3. They're not number 4. They're number 1 receiver. We have 6 number 1 receivers competing for 3 jobs. It's going to be incredible. And then we got Vinny Gregory, a guy that reminds me a lot of Daquan Patton from last year, who's moved on. He's going to come in. He can play receiver. He can play defensive back. He can play special teams. He can return the ball. He's another piece that you got to have. You got to have some versatile guys. You've got 8 starters on offense and defense, and then you only got in the game 21 players. That leaves 5 guys on the sideline. Those 5 guys need to be versatile players. So we got to have some versatile guys. So guess what? He's coming in to compete. He's played, with Sam Castronova in junior college. Played at Edinburgh.
Let's
He's
go.
again, he's been, in the other league for the last couple of years and been very productive. Another kid that could come in and make some noise. So our receiving core is absolutely in great shape. There's nothing to it. I get it. Like I said, I get it. You get comfortable with the same people, and that's all you want to talk about. These teams change a lot, and I kind of don't understand the whole back and forth. But every year we've changed receivers here. 21, much different. 22, much different. 23, much different. 24, much different. We change receivers every year. And so at the end of the day, it's part of the business. Change is there. We're super excited for the kids that we're bringing in. And I can't wait to get to work for these guys coming up in 2025.
Rich wants to know how you're going to pick 4, Coach.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
And you got to understand, some of these kids got to get released. And they are going to, come on, you know what I mean? Like they're going to get picked up. And so I honestly, I reached out to some coaches and said, hey, if I release some people, are you a place that I could send some guys? And they were like, heck yeah. I'm not going to tell you who, what, when, and where, but I'm already knowing that some of these guys are going to be, they could start for any team in the country. So right now I'm worried about training camp. In a week, these young men embark on training camp, and once we start training camp, I don't care what your name is. It's going to be about getting yourself prepared to win game number 1 against Orlando, down in Orlando on March the 14th. And so we got a ton of work to do. We have a ton to evaluate. And so that's where my focus is. And like I said, this will be the last night that I hold any questions about anybody that's not on our roster.
I wonder, have you had a chance to talk to Sam Castronova, and has he taken a look at his potential teammates?
Yeah, I talk to Sam regularly, and so Sam is he's a phenomenal player. Super excited to get him back. Just a great kid himself. He's got targets all over the place, and so we are going to be able to do a little bit different style of offense this year, where Sam can really have 3 number ones across the board, and all Sam's got to do is throw the ball open to the open guy, and I think his job is going to be very, very defined, and I think he's going to have an absolute wonderful career this year.
Cannot wait, and we're getting ever so close. Guys reporting, is it 8 days now?
Yeah, 8 days. It's time is flying. It's coming up next week, so we are knee deep in work and excited about our football team going into 2025.
All right. So, and I see a lot of people talking about the defense and all that, and obviously, we will highlight a lot of these guys when they get into town and everything like that. But I wanted to ask Coach about our new wide receivers simply because I just, again, you just got to understand that when one situation changes, a guy takes a great opportunity, and I talked to Darius a little bit. Well, we texted a little bit last night. He's thrilled for his new opportunity. I'm thrilled for his new opportunity. We're thrilled. You got to look it around, and when these new guys that we've never seen before, that this is going to be a wide receiver core that's completely different, and that nothing against anyone. You got to just get excited and pumped up and get ready for what's going to happen. So that's why we wanted to introduce you guys to this group, and I just need you guys to understand, when somebody doesn't make the roster, don't get upset again. Again, the rules are the rules. This is what we have to do. This is sports. This is the reason Damon Ware has such a large Rolodex. Like you're not gonna. He doesn't get caught off guard in these situations. It's who he is. It's what he does. So, and that's why we're lucky to have you, Coach. But
and on the flip side, why can't we be happy for people that take on other opportunities? I just don't understand on why. Again, that's all the rhetoric and all the speculation on it. Again, like I said, I've been with Darius for several years. We've spent a ton of time together. Like I said, then everybody starts feeling like we got to explain ourselves like we did something wrong. And then everybody going to choose side. Well, I like Darius more than I like the organization. And then I like, Coach Ware more than I like so-and-so. And why do we do such negative stuff? I just never understood that. Man, we can be happy for everybody. I wake up happy every day. I don't care Who comes through those doors? I'm gonna wake up happy. I wake up. I don't care if I'm sick, I'm headache or whatever. I love coming into my office every single morning. I come in there fired up with my cup of coffee, ready to be great. Why can't we be excited for people that move on? Last year
Yeah.
to San Antonio. I wished him well.
Yeah.
Why would I be anybody where I'm like mad that you go and test the market and test other opportunities and do those kind of things? I just could never be that coach. I'm going to continue to push guys up to the higher level, and those things hurt. Like people don't understand all the emotions. We spend every single waking moment with these kids, and then an upper level team calls and, hey man, do we want to talk to so and so, can we get your permit? And it's like again, there's a 80% of me is like, man, I absolutely, I love it. And then there's that 20% where it's like, oh my god, I got to find somebody to replace this kid at the drop of a dime. If I can do it as the coach and knowing that it changes my team considerably, these kids move up, why is everybody so upset? I don't understand. And so I just want people to sit back, embrace the new guys that are coming through the door. You don't have to stop loving him. I still love the kid. I'm not gonna stop enjoying what he does. I'm just not gonna
Oh
cheer
God,
for
no.
him when he does it when he's against us. That's it.
Well, I said to him last night, I was like, look at the bright side. I can finally vote for you for league awards. I've never, because they always
So
like,
true.
they let us vote, but they never let you vote for your own team. For the first time ever, we get to actually vote for Darius, which I'm sure we'll be in a position to do. And, he's, and listen, I don't know. I don't know all the details, but I know Hector. Hector is one of the owners down there, and Hector runs a couple different businesses. And if I'm as aware of Darius's business acumen as I think I am, that's a big reason Darius is working with Hector right now. Because look, you can't play forever, but you can be employed by football forever if you do it right. And Darius plus Hector could be a very, very good thing for a very, very long time.
Yeah. So, Hector has some things that he's got going on for young men to help their brand and things. And so again, that's all part of the courting process. Like I said, it's just different courting somebody for 5 years and courting somebody for the first time. And so I have no ill feelings towards Corpus Christi. We've known Hector a long time. Why,
Yeah.
why would I be mad if you can go put a package in front of somebody and they want to do it? Why would I
Yeah.
be mad at that? I'm not. Now,
Now I'm
is
gonna
there
figure out how to do
emotions?
it, and I'm gonna offer it to our guys in the future.
But again, is there emotions behind it? Sure.
Yeah.
I've spent every day with a young man for 4 years. Yes, there's emotions behind it. Yes, it's sad. Yes, there's things. But in this business, if you get, in that situation, man, things are going to change. And what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to be like, oh God, I'm just going to shut everything down because I lost a play. No, this is our job, is to keep retooling. Every year I retool this roster of great young men of great character that are phenomenal athletes. And so I just, like I said, my thing is it's time to start talking about the 35 guys that are going to descend on the Capital Region starting next week and start showing them some love. It's, again, we've spent a lot of time talking about things that aren't even the guys that are coming here to town. And I just think that's a disservice to these kids.
Yeah.
If I was a kid, would I like to see like, wow, they're spending all their time talking about somebody that's not even on the team? It's those things hurt me, and only because I got to protect the 35 and then ultimately 24. I don't get to choose one or two and say that's the only one I care about. I got to care about 35 guys, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that equally. And I tell the guys coming in, this business is about relationships, but the relationships are only there when you're a really good athlete. It sounds harsh and it sounds ugly, but that's our business. Is again, there's all the players that call me on a daily or every other day basis, they're all top level players. The guys that couldn't help me win a game, I don't I don't keep in contact with any of those, as bad as it sounds. But that's our business: is we connect with great people, and those people that can contribute to championships. Those people you'll be locked in for life. And so, and that doesn't matter. Again, you take a Sean Brown that I'm so proud of. Got him up to the USFL for a couple of years. He came back to us. People don't realize how big those things are. Is he was in the USFL starting for Philadelphia. He then gets traded to Philadelphia, to Pittsburgh. They shut down and end up merging the league. And where did he come? He came back here. So he came back to be with me in the capital region. Those are things that you normally just don't get to see. And so he comes back, and now he's right back up to the higher level. That's it. Those things are incredible. And so I lose guys all the time. And so what people don't realize is losing him is no different than losing Darius Prince. I lose a lot of kids every year. And it's sad for me, but I'm happy for these kids.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Is I'm not on these guys, he's a jerk because he left me. No, I want you to succeed. I want you to get out of life what you want. How could I spend all these years with these kids and then wish bad upon them?
The Clock Tower Hotel at Century House. Excited! We can't wait for moving day. It's coming. It's coming fast. What a beautiful place. I mean, it was good last year. It's great this year. I can't wait to see the guys' faces when they see the Clock Tower Hotel this year.
And it's everything. It's the staff too. It's not. They did a wonderful job on the remodel. It is just absolutely gorgeous. But it's not just that. Their staff is, Terry, the manager, she's wonderful. Again, their housekeeping staff to put up with all the stuff that we go through. Phenomenal. Obviously Monica, just phenomenal people that take care of our guys. And so anybody out there, Flock Sport, Clock Tower, any of our other sponsors, when you're taking care of our guys, I absolutely love you. You're part of the family. And so again, I go by that hotel. It's not far from where I live. Yep. I go there all the time. Make sure things are going well. Make sure there's anything we can do better, worse, anything. It's their family. And like I said, if you want to stay in a hotel and you're going to stay local and need a weekend out with the family or whatever, or date night or whatever it is you do, go to the Clock Tower. It's a wonderful place with wonderful staff. You'll love to stay there.
All right. Monica says she loves us too. And well, you have to. You're stuck with us. You're family now. you better love us because we ain't going away. Off the wall, pretty interesting question. And I think I already know your philosophy, but with some of the roster changes from 2024, not just DP, was there an element of wanting to get younger overall as a team?
That's a good question because that's something I go over every single offseason. We're in the business of a brutal sport. Those walls are undefeated, jumping over the walls, landing in crowds, landing on cement. It's again, the business is brutal. And so you always have to be thinking about getting younger. Getting older in this business isn't always a positive thing. And so we always do. I think last year we got a lot younger. And so it was good to keep a lot of our young pieces together coming into this year. But yes, from last year to this year, there is an earnest on getting some young guys in that we can build our nucleus around. Obviously, last year we brought back a lot of young guys from last year. A lot of guys that were rookies last year are back for their second year. And so getting younger is a huge thing. These guys are faster, they're healthier, they're, again, obviously you need your veterans and those guys, again, that can stay healthy, that can play at a high level for many years. Those guys are, again, you're always willing around, but ultimately this is a young man's business. And so again, I definitely wanted to get a little younger.
Vernacularity, why is getting younger an issue with 1-year contracts? Because the 1-year contract is the power of the player. The player that comes back could still be getting older or younger or whatever. I remember you explained to me one time, Coach, and it stuck with me was, basically like you want your guy who's a star right now. You want your guy who's on the cusp of becoming a star, and you want your guy that you can actually develop into that next star. And if you have a good rotation of those three coming through, whether they're leaving you for the outdoor game or moving into front offices or coaching or whatever, as you go, you're always going to be ready to go. You're never going to have to rebuild. You're always reloading.
And I think these are all really good questions. And to be a good football team for a long term, you have to have a system in place. And so your question being, why get younger on a 1-year contract? And I'll tell you why. You want to keep a nucleus together. And so, how do you keep a nucleus together? For us, it's winning. People want to be involved in a winner. And so you have a 1 year contract, but you're courting them for year number two, year number three. When you can keep a nucleus together for several years, you can keep a nucleus together for 2 or 3 years, you can be a pretty darn good football team. But there's a system to it. There's a lot to it. You have to always be thinking about the future. I never stop recruiting. I'm recruiting even though I have a roster, I'm still recruiting. Why? What happens when a guy goes down? What happens with something life-changing experience happens? Hey, somebody, hey, my mother got sick, I need to go home. There's things that happen through sports that you have to be ready for. And so one thing about me is I want to be ready for all of the little things that I'm not really, I get prepared for things I know probably aren't going to happen, but I'm ready for them if they're there. And so as a coaching staff, I want them to go over details. Hey, if this never happens, great. But if it does happen, we've gone over this. And so that's the thing is we want to keep those young players around. It does take young guys a year to really get good at this game. And so you're courting them for year number two. That's the thing is, yes, it's a 1 year contract, but you still want some of these kids back. And so they have the power. The hardest part is, again, just the difference in pay structure from 2024 to 2025. Understand how hard those conversations were. Hey, last year you got paid this. The league has now changed the pay structure. So now you're going to get paid this. You don't want to know how hard those conversations were? Who wants to go down and pay? But there's a business behind it. This is a business ultimately. It is not personal. Again, the line that everybody's heard, it's not personal, it's just business. There's a business behind it. There's people that put in a great deal of money for these things. There's processes in place. There's, bills to be paid. So at the end of the day, it's not all about these singular things. There's a whole lot of things that come into play for us to run this very expensive business. And so, this is why we, get on these things and hey, we need this fan support. We need community partners. We need more season ticket holders. We need everybody to bring a couple more people to the games because if you want nice things, you got to support it. And that's
Right.
the thing about this business is if you don't support it, sometimes there's an expiration date. And so when you want to be dominant, you have to be always ahead of the game and always looking forward. I can't just look for this year or this week. I got to be looking for next week and next year at all times. And so those are great questions, and I'm glad those were asked.
By the way, the VIP access tickets are now a thing. They'll be on sale starting on the 24th. So the Experience the Heat VIP fan access, get a chance to meet coach, eat pregame meals with the team, VIP lounge, arena tour, pregame picture on midfield with player tunnel access, stand on the field next to the Flames during player entrance, and then get escorted to your seats right at 7 p.m. So that's going to be very, very limited VIP access. Those start going on sale on the 24th.
And this
Very
is like I said, we want more people to have a full experience of what we go through. And so, as the average fan, you probably have no idea all that we do to get ready for one game. And so we want to let some people get closer to the game. And so yes, it'll be an exciting day where you'll meet me at my office again on game day. We'll talk a little bit. You get to know you and the people that are in the group. Again, you'll come down and have pregame meal with us and see just how we break bread and how we get ready to get into the moment. And so then we leave there. We have a lot of pregame things that happen on the field. You get to be around all that stuff. You get to high five the players. There'll be a little area for you to go to be a part of and kind of, be close to the players. And then again, I'm going to let you come in and listen to a pregame speech. And so you're going to be in there right before we go to the tunnel to be announced. So you're going to get some very intricate details that you normally could never get. But we want this to be, the Capital Regions team. We want people that really want to be a part of it. Come down, get some better looks at things, understand all the things that we're going through. And I just, like I said, as we started to develop this program, I was just like, I mean, again, there should be a waiting list for people that want to come and do this. So, like I said, I can't wait for some of the people that jump on board with this. But you're going to have a really fun experience and really get to be around the players and the coaches right before we go out there and play a game. So that's going to be really fun.
Absolutely, absolutely love this idea. I hate that I didn't come up with it, but whatever. Also, we did make a deal. We have a new vendor who's going to help with stuff. So we're going to have a chance to pre-order some merchandise, shirts, hoodies, things like that, that we're going to make sure we here before the home opener. So be on the lookout. That should be showing up on the website the next day or two. Monday at the latest, there'll be a period of time where you can make your order, and then everything will be done and shipped, and you'll have it in time for the season. And we're working on way more stuff. And Jake is back in the office. Jake Labrie, he's probably in the office right now. We're very proud to be able to share this experience with our fans for the VIP, and then of course the new gear. Some really cool stuff coming together, and it's awesome. It's good that the more people we have on the team, the more things are getting done, and the more exciting it's becoming.
Absolutely. This is going to be an exciting season. And so, that's why I want to start talking about the players coming in, start talking about the games that we're going to. This is going to be a fun season. There's so many good storylines going into it. There's so many good football teams coming into this. Games are going to be super exciting. And again, we just, like I said, we really want everyone to embrace what we're doing here. And that means stuff that we're doing in the community. We'll talk about some more of the community events that we have coming up on a later show. But we do a lot of stuff for the community. And, again, we want everybody to embrace. Like, we're here to stay. Like I said, the majority of our coaching staff lives here as part of the Capital Region. So, like I said, anybody that has any events that they want to invite us to, obviously we're coming up to our busier time. But if it's something that we can make it to and make your day special, we'd be glad to do so. So give us a call.
Real quick, some questions from the flock. Tim Capper, does a fantastic rookie year earn a player a multi-year contract? Not yet, right? That's something that the league has to change rules on before we can even consider it.
I don't see there ever being a multi-year contract at this level. If you want a multi-year contract, yes, come in and have a fantastic rookie season, and let's get you moved up to the next level. That where you could sign a multi-year contract.
Sign you even faster. I did see. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. I noticed. Yeah, we were talking about how much we love the clock tower. And they said they have an indoor pool staycation for winter break. And then, coach, just so you know, the missus, can we spend the night there for Valentine's? And then Monica was paying attention, said they're running a special now for just such an occasion. Come on, coach. So just so you know.
See so much on this show. See,
they just wait.
Yeah, we'll love. But yes, I definitely have to do something special. Obviously, it's coming up on season time where I get super busy. And so, yeah, the family knows they need to share me with the team, but I make sure I'm home every night and spend as much time with the family as I can. But yep, we'll be making some determinations about those days.
And then one final thing, why does our website have 6 games with date ranges? We have a meeting tomorrow. I was out of town, so I'm waiting to get that answer. I know that everything is close to finalized. I believe it is finalized, but until I talk to the powers that be, I don't change nothing on the website.
Like I said, I was part of the owners' meetings that were here in the Capital Region last week, and so yes, we are going to announce all the dates and times and all that stuff. All of that stuff is completed. It was just making sure that there was nothing, I's are dotted and T's are crossed, and make sure we contact every building and make sure everything's in order. We don't want to have to announce something and then have to keep amending it. So it's a very professional process. Again, like I said, I love the leadership of this league. It's all very professional. We're doing nothing but wonderful things together. And so I'm real excited. And so all of these dates will be shared very quickly here coming up. But it's just an I's dot, T's cross type of thing, making sure that we have no mistakes.
And I recently found out Lou from Cugino's is going through some health stuff. So we're all sending positive vibes, prayers your way, Louie. We hope you're feeling better in no time. That smile and that craziness that you bring around, and that great food. You're a total plus to the region, and we love you, brother. So get better quick.
Definitely. Hey, we'll see you soon, and definitely get yourself better. You're part of the family.
And people, did I come back from NOLA with a wife? No, obviously Paige Sporadic, not going to marry a fat old man from Colony. I tried though. I tried real hard. I did. And then I did see, I think it was Steph who wanted to volunteer a fundraiser to put me back on a cruise again. That's mean. That's just mean. If we're just being honest, that'd be very mean. Nani, I came back with a sickness. I did. It's true. All right, coach. I don't think we missed anything. I think we covered a lot of stuff. I know we're now here from here on out. If you're on the roster, we're talking about you, and we're on to the 25 season.
Absolutely.
All right, he is the head coach, the general manager, the guy who spots talent and keeps it moving as best he can, but also takes care of those who took care of us. He is Coach Ware. I am Jeff Levack. Boo is needed. I'm fine. I don't mind it. It's fine. It's good.
Get yourself better so we can get back to work now.
I'm listen, I'm loading up with all the meds they told me to load up with. They said stay hydrated. I'll be in the office tomorrow morning, ready to go, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. I will and I may sound like I smoke now, but hey, it is what it is. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you.
All righty. We'll see you soon.
But we can't end the show without those two words. 1, 2, 3. Flock you.